Our study of endoplasmic reticulum is mainly based on study of hepatocytes. This is because they are relatively accessible and can be obtained in substantial quantity. In this table, we can see that the most abundant enzyme on both cytoplasmic and luminal phase is cytochrome P450. This enzyme is of great significance. Apart from other functions, it can modify drugs. In its reduced form, it activates oxygen for hydroxylation reaction. It is known to be a microsomal protein. Now, what is a microsome? When tissue is homogenized for subcellular fractionation, the endoplasmic reticulum membranes break into smaller fragments, which then seal spontaneously into vesicles. These vesicles are called microsomes. Microsomes do not exist as such in the cells. They are prepared. Microsomes with or without ribosomes can be prepared. They are required for the detailed study of both types of endoplasmic reticulum. In this picture, we can see the rough microsomes with ribosomes on it and the smooth microsomes without the ribosomes. The endoplasmic reticulum performs a number of functions. We can say a dozen or even more. To have a quick look at the different kind of function, we can go for the 12 broad heads. It provides mechanical support. It plays a central role in lipid and protein biosynthesis. It is the site for production of all transmembrane proteins and lipids. Mitochondria and peroxisomal membrane lipids are also synthesized by endoplasmic reticulum. All proteins that will be secreted to the cell exterior, as well as those destined for the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi and lysosomes, are initially delivered to the endoplasmic reticulum lumen. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is involved in the formation of lipoprotein complexes. It is involved in the initial stages of breakdown of fatty acids. The conversion of fatty acids to acyl coenzyme A esters occurs in the endoplasmic reticulum. It is associated with hydroxylation reaction, drug detoxification, carbohydrate metabolism, synthesis of neutral fats, phospholipids, and steroids, and even more. In this segment, we will focus on three main functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. To start with, we go for the hydroxylation reaction. Conversion of tyrosine from phenylalanine. Conversion of tyrosine from phenylalanine is an hydroxylation reaction. In this reaction, two oxygen molecules are required. One is required for hydroxylation, one molecule of oxygen is required for hydroxylation, and the second one is reduced to water. There is an electron transport chain in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Cytochrome 450, which we have already discussed to be the most abundant enzyme in the endoplasmic reticulum, is the terminal component of that electron transport chain. So this kind of reaction, we see that it is a function of the endoplasmic reticulum. Coming to the next function of the endoplasmic reticulum, which we are going to discuss today, is the glycogen catabolism. In a glycogen catabolism, this is what happens. This is the picture of glycogen catabolism. Enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase is present in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum membrane. This enzyme catalyzes the removal of the phosphate group from glucose 6-phosphate to form free glucose. From glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme, it is present in the endoplasmic reticulum, and what it is doing? This enzyme catalyzes the removal of the phosphate group to form glucose. The glucose 6-phosphatase in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum membrane removes the phosphate group from glucose 6-phosphate, thereby allowing the glucose to move out of the liver cell into the blood for transport to cells in the body that are in need of energy. Actually, the livers the liver, it plays a major role to keep the level of glucose in the blood relatively constant. It stores glucose as glycogen and releases it as per requirement of the body, that is between meals and during the muscular activity and during the release or breakdown of that glycogen. So for proper functioning of the liver, you require the endoplasmic reticulum activity. The endoplasmic reticulum is also of utmost importance in protein sorting. A number of different kinds of proteins are presented to the endoplasmic reticulum. It has to find out which protein has to go where. Some are destined to be present in the endoplasmic reticulum itself. Here we will come across two different kinds of ribosomes. What are they? One is the free ribosomes and the other is the membrane-bound ribosome. Here is the picture. Proteins synthesized on the free ribosomes either remain in the cytosol or are transported to the nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, or peroxisomes. Proteins synthesized on the membrane-bound ribosome are translocated into the endoplasmic reticulum when the translation is in progress.